Welcome to the 1992 World Under-21 final from Pfaffenhofen near Munich in Germany, and a slightly unusual start to this video. We did in fact get held up in rather bad traffic jams and very poor weather indeed on the way to the meeting, and as you can tell we're stuck in a traffic jam. We're now just about 40 minutes from the start time and we've still got some 30 miles to cover to get to the track in time, and at this stage it really wasn't looking too good. You can see there the time 25 past 1. All the riders were getting ready, warming their machines up, ready to go out for the presentation. We really had come through some horrendous weather, and the meeting, well, we was hoping it was going to be delayed. You can see the sort of weather we was coming through from this shot. Of course, very long way indeed to go for a rain-off. 600 miles from the other side of the channel from Calais, and perhaps that's the best way to travel. And well, we just heard a clap of thunder there. The thunderstorms were raging all round us on the way to the track. We're now about 20 minutes from the stadium. Kilometres from Munich, as you can see. That's about 40 miles, and the Pfaffenhofen track is about 15 miles north of Munich. And again, traffic jams really are holding us up, and the weather's closed in yet again.
2 minutes. You can't see that, but we are about 5 kilometres from the stadium. But I don't think the meet is going to start on time. Right.
Well, the time is now 2 o'clock precisely.
Are they out on parade or are they having the first race? Well on then.
Well, we've got all the lights on. You can go 18 kilometres and we're doing precisely 10. Conditions are bad. I hope Mark Lawrence's got an extra tear-off for his first ride. At this stage we really didn't think the meeting was going on at all during this day, but at this very time the riders were out on parade getting ready for the first race, but a thunderstorm did in fact halt proceedings after the presentation, after the parade, so we were somewhat fortunate, unbeknown to us. We were still trying to get
we're there nearly
through the track, to the track.
We made it.
Okay.
Yep. We're off the motorway. We're now on the way. Oh, bit of lightning. We should be on heat 2.
We must at this stage thank Trudy and Nigel, our driver and navigator, for getting us to the track.
Look at the hop spot. Hopfield.
Really did do a very good job under extreme conditions. And we're not far from the track. There in fact are the signs.
1400.
We're almost there.
14, 15. The weather is clearing. They may have already had the first 4 heats. We do not know.
Well, we're very close to it now. Waiting for the green light to come on. Wait for the green light.
Try to get a rolling start.
Yo.
Oh,
And we're off.
At the gate. We've got third. Oh, we're pinched.
We're there. Well done.
Well, rerun videos have finally made it here to the Municipal Stadium in Pfaffenhofen, and in fact the good Lord was on rerun side for once as he produced a heavy downpour just after the parade had finished, holding the meeting up so that our ace cameraman Steve Gerwood could in fact make it to the track in time for the start of Heat 1. As you can probably see from the background, we've had a very, very heavy thunderstorm indeed. There've been thunderstorms around this part of Bavaria all weekend, but fortunately the track is draining very well, and hopefully we're going to be getting on with the meeting in a very short time indeed.
Well, before that, a quick look at the lineups. Number 1, Jörgen Holmgren. He rides for Skapana in the Swedish League. Sweden rider, of course. Number 2, that's Mark Lorem, Kings Lynn in England, of course. One of the favourites. Well, in fact, he's got number 9 on his back. Tomasz Goleb. He's at number 3. He rides for Big Gosh in the Polish League. Poland rider. Matthias Kosch, he's from Germany, rides for Güstrow, so he's bound to have plenty of support. Thomas Barjeski, he rides for Aporto Torun in the Polish League. Joe Screen, Bellevue in England, another rider who's one of the favourites for the meeting here this afternoon. We really are lucky to get the meeting on at all. Nicholas Klingberg, Onana, Marasted and Sweden, his home country. Robert Johansson, another Swedish rider who also rides for Skapana in the Swedish League, as does Mikael Karlsson, another Swede, so they are well represented. Sweden. Robert Savina, Aporto Torun and Poland. He could go well here this afternoon. Lars Gunnestad, another rider that could go very well, rides for Zelona Gora in the Polish League, a Norwegian rider, of course, representing Norway. Hans Clausen, another rider representing Denmark. He's from Holsted and Brukstad. David Norris, he's from Ipswich in England, of course, the 3rd English rider to qualify for this meeting. The only Australian in the lineup, Lee Adams of Swindon, another rider that starts out as one of the favourites. Victor Gaydeem of CIS rides for Rovna, and well, there is the rider in yellow and black in the first race, Tomasz Barjeski, getting ready for his first outing. Yuri Staracek, he's from Czechoslovakia, rides for Pudabuchi, he's one of the reserves. Kim Brandt is the other rider in the lineup, he rides for Denmark and Slangerup. And you can see the crowd is very healthy size indeed, gathered for the World Under-21 final here this afternoon. The riders getting ready for Heat 1 before the meeting. We had a few words with a couple of the riders, Mark Lorem and Niklaus Klingberg.
Well, Nicholas, the rain's come down. Do you think this is going to make a big difference to who's going to win this meeting?
No, I think it should be the same as in practice.
Who do you think are your main opponents in this particular under-21 final?
I don't know, it's very hard to say anyone. I don't know.
You'd rather not say? You've got your private thoughts about it. Was it a very hard qualifying competition to get here? Did you find it difficult?
Yeah, it was difficult. So,
of course, the Bellevue round, you were in that one, and that was the first time you'd ridden on that track.
Yeah.
Not the sort of track that you're used to in Sweden.
No, it's not not the same at all.
But you managed to get to grips with the track after a couple of races. It didn't seem to have any problems for you.
No, I thought it was good.
I understand that one or two English clubs were interested in signing you after that meeting. Have you got any thoughts of riding in England in the future?
Yeah, I should do.
Okay, Nicholas, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Mark, you managed to get through the parade all right, and then the heavens opened.
Yeah, that's right. I just run in halfway through the parade because I saw it coming across and it come down pretty heavy.
What's the track like now? Do you think it's going to be rideable?
Yeah, I think it will certainly be rideable, but there's obviously going to be the same old problem with vision, you know. If you don't make such a good start, it's going to be a little bit unfair like that, really, but it's the way it goes.
There's a school of thought in the pits that says a heavy track like this might well favour the English boys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, you know, the track being heavy. Like I say, the only problem is that if you don't make such good starts, then you're going to get so bloody dirty, but I don't matter, you know, just got to go out and have a go.
Does this sort of difference to the track make a lot of difference in the fact that you set your bike up for a different type of surface, or doesn't it make any difference at all?
I don't know, really. It depends on how it rides. It looks like it will ride okay, but we may have to change the gearing, you know, to change for the track now, because it's different, obviously. In practice yesterday it was dry, so it should be all right.
Okay, thanks very much, Mark.
Thank you.
Well, good to hear from Mark and Niklaus. And Mark Lee comes out in heat number 3, Niklaus in heat 2. But race number 1, we've got Jürgen Holgren from Sweden, Joe Screen of Great Britain, Thomas Golab of Poland, and Thomas Bardziewski also from Poland. The tapes rise, and it is Jürgen Holgren that's made the best start. And here comes Thomas Bardziewski through on the inside, passing Joe Screen. So Screeny not getting off to a good start. He's opening right, but he's coming hard underneath Bardziewski as they go into the third turn, and he's come through in the second place. So great piece of riding there by Joe. Of course, the riders won't know exactly how the track is going to ride in their first outing. And now Thomas Golab, he's come through ahead of his fellow countrymen into third place. Joe Screen, well, he's trying to put Jürgen Holgren under some pressure, and he certainly looks as if he's closing. 2 laps gone, 2 to go. And Joe will be hoping not to drop any points in his opening ride. Of course, £10,000 on offer to an English rider that wins the World Under-21 final. Joe Screen, he's locked up coming out of that turn, and with a lap to go, he's lost some ground on Holgren now. It really is going to take a super effort to try and find a way past the track riding rather heavy in the opening race. Sandy surface on this track, and it's allowed the meeting to go ahead at all. If this had been in England, I'm afraid the meeting would have had to been abandoned. But Joe Screen, he could only manage a second in his first outing. Jürgen Holgren wins it from Screen in second place. Thomas Golab picks up a point for third, 70.4. Jürgen's winning time, and there is the Swedish flag flying in the breeze. No wonder. Well done to Jürgen. And well, there is Eric Bucock, a familiar face, of course, around tracks in Britain, the England co-manager, and he's come out with the English boys to offer his advice. Many years' experience in the sport Eric has got. On to the second race, we've got Nicholas Klingberg coming out for Sweden, Lars Gunnestad, he comes out for Norway, Mikael Karlsson also for Sweden, and David Norris on the outside gate position for Ipswich and England. David in a spanking new set of leathers. He'll be hoping not to get them soiled in any way. He'll be hoping for a good start off gate number 4. Waiting for the green light to come on and the tapes to rise, and it is Lars Gunnestad off gate number 2 that's made a good start, but so's Dave Norris off 4, and he's coming around the outside. Nicholas Klingberg back in third place, although Klingberg getting into some trouble, and Mikael Karlsson trying to come around on the outside of Klingberg, but he cannot find a way. But it's Lars Gunnestad who's out in front. David Norris in second place and trying to put Gunnestad under some pressure. Of course, Lars
now a pool asset in the British League, but he's not ridden for them this year. Signed more in with 1993 in mind. David Norris in second place, Klingberg back in third, and Mikael Carlsen at the back. Gunnestad, of course, he's riding for Zielona Góra in the Polish League, and also he rides in Norway and Sweden, so he's a very busy man indeed on the continent. So perhaps British League was one too many for him this season, but he's comfortably leading heat number 2, so he's going to get off to a good start. The only Norwegian in this line-up this afternoon. He's going to come across the line, and David Norris, but David Norris has gone very wide indeed. Oh, well, poor mistake there by David. He'll be very disappointed with himself. He allowed Nicholas Klingberg to come through in the second place, and Norris, but he picks up 1 point ahead of Mikael Carlsen. 71.3 was last winning time, and well, the weather is getting worse again. The umbrellas are having to go up. We've got a light shower. Hopefully it'll turn into nothing as torrential as we had on the journey here, as you saw earlier on this video. On to heat number 3, and a big race this one already. In this one we have Robert Johansson, he comes out for Sweden. In blue it's Lee Adams for Australia. In white Mark Lorem, and in yellow and black it's Victor Gaydeen for the CIS. So Lorem and Lee Adams, the big two to watch. Off gates 2 and 3, and it is Adams that's made the best start. Off gate number 2, and he's leading the way. And Robert Johansson, well, he's gone down the race. Is it going to be stopped? Johansson, well, he's not going to get off the track. And in fact, the red lights have come on. Let's take another look at that ball. As the tapes rise, you can see Johansson. He's missed the gate, really. He's at the back. He may have got a slight nudge there from Lorem. Down he goes. He loses control of his machine. And well, with the referee allow him in the rerun. Well, unfortunately for Johansson, the referee has seen fit to exclude him from the rerun of race number 3, so there's only going to be 3 riders. So Lee Adams has got to do it all over again over Mark Lorem and Victor Gaydeen. Gaydeen, he's not made a bad start off gate number 4. Rides, of course, for Rovner. Out in what is the old Russia. CIS now, of course. And well, Gaydeen, he's trying to get a flyer and he's broken the tapes. The race has been stopped again, and I'm afraid it's going to be an exclusion for him. So are we going to get heat number 3 underway at the 3rd attempt? Well, the weather certainly seems to be improving somewhat. And the crowd, well, they now, most of them have put their umbrellas down. And the local constabulary out here also. And they'll be watching Yuri Starchek. He comes out. Yuri Starchek, he comes out as the reserve Czechoslovakian, of course, rides with Pardabucci in the Czechoslovakian league, but he's not made a good start, and this time it is Lee Adams again that's leading the way. Mark Lorem in second place, and Starchek, he's back in third, and he's not really going to put these two under any pressure, I wouldn't have thought. Only 2 of the original 4 in this heat number 3, and it is Lee Adams that's away. Made a good start yet again. Mark Lorem in second place. Mark really rode at Arena Essex on Friday for his club team Kings Lynn. Took a nasty fall in one outing. Collided with Josh Larson of Arena Essex in America. But thankfully he was able to get back to his feet and continue the meeting, and he's here this afternoon, but he's finds himself back in second place behind the fast-gating Lee Adams. Lee, of course, the Australian under-21 champion, as well as the full Australian champion, the pairs champion also, and Victoria state champion. He really did have an unprecedented season of success down under over the winter. And he started well in this World Under-21 final. In heat number 3, he wins it. Second place goes to Mark Lorem. Third place for Yuri Starchek. And Lee's winning time at 70.6. Only 1/5 of a second slower than heat number 1. On to race 4 then. Hans Clausen, he comes out for Denmark. Robert Savina, he comes out for Poland. Kim Brandt for Denmark. And the rider in yellow and black, that's Matthias Koch for Germany, so he's to be sure of a lot of support in race number 4 from this large German crowd, but he's not made a good start. The rider in white, Hans Clausen, he certainly has, and he leads the way. Kim Brandt has moved through in the second place ahead of Robert Savina. And Matthias Koch, where he's back in last place. So it is the Danish rider, Hans Clausen, leading the way. Rides for Holstedt and Brugstad in the Danish league. And he's opened up a good lead as well over Kim Brandt. Fellow Dane, of course. Kim rides for Slangerup. And the riders were having one or two problems in heat number 4. Track conditions not easy with all the rain we have had over the last few hours. But with a lap to go, it's Hans Clausen leading the way. He's going to have a takes to flag victory if he can just keep going for another half a lap. So after this ride, of course, all 16 riders would have had one race. And Clausen comes over the line. Second place goes to Brandt. Third place for Savina. And Koch at the back, 72.8, so the slowest time of the afternoon so far. All riders now have had one race each. And well, you can see the light apparatus there. The gentleman in the tractor has just hit it. He's managed to swing back in position, so we have to keep our eye out for him. I'm sure the track staff will as well. And a lot of press have gathered for this meeting. No wonder, of course, very important. I think you need to mirror that, gentlemen. Oh no, that looks fine, you'll do. And the riders getting ready for heat number 5. Jürgen Holmgren, he comes out in blue. He had a win in his first ride. Rider in white, Niklaus Klingberg, he had a second place. And there is the great Ivan Major. He's here this afternoon, helping out Lee Adams. Mark Loren, well, he's getting ready for his next ride. He comes out in yellow and black. Of course, he had a second place too, Lee, in heat number 3. And there is Mark's father, Paul Loren. He's also made the journey out here to cheer on his son. Olsen as well, former world champion, 3 times champion, of course. He's also out here with Danish TV. TV2, of course, the Danish television station. Are filming this meeting. On to heat number 5 then, and the full lineup. Well, Matthias Koch, he comes out for 2 on the trot. Jürgen Holmgren, he comes out in blue, as we've seen. Niklaus Klingberg is the rider in white. There is Holmgren, and he had a good win in heat number 1 over Joe Screen. Can he repeat that over Mark Loren, the rider in yellow and black? Well, Mark will be hoping not. He's got to make a good start from the outside gate position. And Niklaus Klingberg, well, he was beaten by Lars Gunnestad in heat number 2. So it should be a good race, this one. Koch, I should imagine, would be out of it, but you never can tell. Heat number 5 then, about to get underway. Start marshal satisfied, the green light comes on, the tapes rise, the bikes are out of the start, and who's it makes it into the first turn, and it is Mark Loren that leads the way. Klingberg's come through in the second place, and Holmgren is back in third, so a good start that time by the King's Lynn Barham Star. It leads the way. Klingberg just holding off Holmgren for second place at the moment, so 2 Swedes battling it out for the 2 points, second and third place. And Matthias Koch again, well, he's at the back and he looks a little bit outclassed in this company. Loren comfortably out in front. £10,000 on offer from Coal Products Limited, the sponsors, main sponsors of British Speedway these days. 10,000 to the winner of this meeting if it's an English rider, and of the world final itself. Of course, Kelvin Tatum and Gary Havelock have qualified for England, and then there's further bonuses should 2 English riders win both titles. But first we've got to get an English winner of this, and Mark Loren, well, he's won heat number 5 So the first winner for England in the World Under-21 final here in Germany this afternoon. Lauren comes across the line at 69.8, his winning time. That is a new track record. So he really was flying in that one. Nikolaus Klingberg got second place. Jürgen Holtgren at point for third. And the flag is flying high. Team Screen. That is Joe Screen's support team there out watching him. He comes out in white in heat number 6. Rider in yellow and black is Mikael Karlsson. He's also joined by Robert Johansson of Sweden in blue and Robert Savina from Poland in red. Savina, of course, he has scored 1 point in his first ride. Karlsson, he didn't score any. Rider in white, that's Robert Johansson. He fell on the first bend, remember, in the race involving Lee Adams and Mark Ron, so Johansson will be hoping to go better in heat number 6. The tapes rise this time, and it is the rider in red that's made a good start. Savina leads the way. Mikael Karlsson's come through in the second place, and where is Joe Screen? Well, he's just come through in the third ahead of Johansson, and now he's coming hard underneath the rider in yellow and black. Mikael Karlsson, he's moved through in the second place. Joe Screen, well, he's into second, but Karlsson is fighting back again. Robert Savina, he leads the way though. He's opened up a healthy lead over the Bellevue Star, although Joe Screen, well, he certainly is closing in on Savina now. He can't really afford to drop too many more points. And Joe, well, he's come from last to second. Can he possibly find a way through in the first place? Savina still holding on to first place. Here comes Joe Screen. He's picked up a lot of speed coming out of the second turn. And he's coming hard underneath Savina as they go into the third turn. And Savina, well, he's gone very wide and he's hit the safety fence. He's gone down. And the race, well, it's going to have to be stopped. Joe Screen, he's continued, but the red flags have come on. Savina's on the track. Let's take another look at that fall. Well, as the rider started the third lap, you can see Robert Savina leading the way. But here comes Joe Screen hard up the inside of him. And well, I'm not sure there's any contact there, but Savina's gone very wide indeed. Joe Screen's gone through into the lead. The race has been stopped. What will the referee decide in this one? Well, the crowd are waiting for the decision. And Robert Savina, well, he has been excluded from the rerun. By the referee, and there is the marks that Robert has left on the track, and he is still down on the track, being attended to, well, by the German equivalent of St John's, I don't know, but the men in white coats anyway. And well, unfortunately the ambulance has been called. So a sad sight here. Savina out in front. Hopefully, as the crowd look on, he won't need that journey back in the hospital, in the ambulance to the hospital, but unfortunately he is being stretchered off, so bad luck for him. And it doesn't look good for Robert. A rerun has been ordered. There is Eric Gunnarsson. Of course, his speedway career tragically cut short by injury. Ollie Olsen with him, and there is Peter Collins in the Joe Screen camp. Those three former world champions. Mike Patrick also in attendance, speedway star photographer of course, and the riders were there getting ready. There is Robert Johansson and Mikael Karlsson and Joe Screen. They're out on the track, ready for the rerun then of heat number 6. So can Joe Screen make a better start this time? He had to fight his way from the back, and he did get into first place when the race was stopped. See if he can make it easier for himself. Well, he's not made a particularly good start either, but can he lead going into the first time? Turn, well, no, he cannot. Mikael Karlsson leads the way. Joe Screen trying to fight back on the inside. Johansson back in third place, but it is Mikael Karlsson leading from Screen in second place. So he's going to have to do it again from the back. Joe Screen, if he's going to find a way past into the lead, and does he come through? Well, yes, he does, and he forces Karlsson wide. So good piece of riding there by Screen. He really has been thrilling the fans all over the country in England with his riding, especially around Bellevue. He's been scoring maximum after maximum up there. Now, of course, a regular in the England setup together with Mark Loram. come through into the lead. Carlson, though, he's having a better ride this time than his first outing in heat number 2. Robert Johansson, he's going to score his first points of the afternoon. And it looks like it's going to be Joe Screen. He pulls a tear off away from his helmet. He comes across the line. And that's Joe's first win, so he's got 5 points from his first 2 rides. And, well, his fans, they're happy. There's a lot of them travelled over from Manchester to see Screen this afternoon, and he hasn't disappointed them in heat number 6. Mikael Carlson, second place. Robert Johansson a point for third. 71 seconds exactly was Joe's winning time. On to heat number 7. Lee Adams in red, Hans Clausen in blue, Lars Gunnestad in white, and Thomas Golob in yellow and black. Lee Adams had a win in his first ride, so did Lars Gunnestad. So he's got to give in this heat, and it is Lee Adams that leading the way. Here comes Golob though into second place, ahead of Hans Clausen, and Lars Gunnestad was surprisingly, he's at the back. But Lee Adams, with no surprise, the fast skating Swindon Robin, he's out in front. Thomas Golob has moved through into second place. Thomas, of course, he had a third in his first ride, but he's going one better at the moment. Hans Clausen back in third place. Clausen, of course, rides for Holsted and Brookstad out in Denmark, but he's not closing in at all. On Golob. Lars Gunnestad was surprised to find him at the back. Here comes Clausen trying to find a way through past Golob on the outside, but they're not getting anywhere near to Lee Adams. He really has scorched out into the lead in heat number 7, and he's looking very good indeed. He won his first ride, of course, beating Mark Lorem in the process, and he's going to win heat number 7 very convincingly indeed. He comes across the line. Second place goes to Thomas Golob. Third place went to Clausen, and Lars Gunnestad, a surprise last for him. 71.6 was Lee's winning time. 2 wins out of 2 for him. He's the only undefeated rider at the moment. And well, we're not the only one filming the meeting here this afternoon. Others also getting in on the act. Heat number 8, and there's English interest in this one in the form of David Norris. There is David coming out in blue. He'll be disappointed with only a third place in his first outing, letting Klingberg through for 2 points. Full lineup: Thomas Barjeski in red, David Norris in blue, Victor Gadim in white, excluded from his first ride, of course, and Kim Brandt from Denmark in yellow and black off the outside gate. Heat number 8 about to get underway. What can Norris do? Well, he's not made a very good start, but Thomas Barjeski certainly has, and he leads the way. Here comes Kim Brandt through into second place, and here comes David Norris on the outside of Victor Gadim on the inside. He moves through into third place. Kim Brandt in second, but it is the fast skating Thomas Barjeski out in the lead at the moment. Barjeski weird and last in his first ride, so the conditions certainly suited him a little bit more now. The track has dried out. The sun has made the track conditions somewhat easier for these riders. David Norris, he's still back in third place. He must try and find a way past Kim Brandt. Brandt, he scored at 2 points in his first ride, and Norris, well, if he's got any hopes of the rostrum, he's got to start getting amongst the heat winners, but he still finds himself in third place, but he's picked up some drive there, and he's come round the outside of Brandt and moved through into second place. A good piece of riding by Norris. He bided his time, and he's moved through into second place. But it is the rider in red, that's Thomas Barjeski of Poland. He comes across the line and wins it. David Norris a good 2 points in second, finding a way past, and Victor Gadim, well, he also passed Kim Brandt, but maybe engine problems for the young Dane. 72 seconds exactly was Tomas's winning time, and he's getting a good round of applause. Kim Brandt, well, there is some of his supporters, but alas for him in heat number 8. There is Barjeski. He has scored 3 points from his opening 2 rides. Eric Bucock just having a few words with David Norris. Norris just taking the advice of the Long Eaton promoter. Well, it certainly is very hot work indeed out there. As Mikael Karlsson has shown us, Victor Gaydeen, he's just clearing the shell off his leathers, getting ready for his next ride. And there is Jürgen Holtgren, taking it easy. And well, that's what all the riders are after, the coveted under 21 final trophy. So prizes for second and third place. And the crowd, well, they're just getting ready for heat number 9. Bit of a delay this one. Kim Brandt has got 2 on the trot. Lee Adams, he comes out in yellow and black, the only undefeated rider so far. He scored 6 points for his first 2 rides. Rider in white is Jürgen Holtgren. Jürgen, he scored 4 points from his first 2 outings. Kim Brandt, he comes out in blue. He scored 2 points from his opening 2, and Mikael Karlsson is the rider in red. Mikael, he's also scored 2 after his opening 2 rides, so this should be a fairly easy one for Lee Adams on paper. But you never can tell. Otter Weiss tuned engines, of course, he's riding this afternoon very quick indeed. He's got engines specially tuned up for this meeting. Oh, and well, the rider in blue, Kim Brandt, he's gone through, he's hit the tape, so he's been excluded. So it really is not Brandt's afternoon, and we're going to have the reserve coming out.
Kim Brandt aus Dänemark disqualifiziert für diesen Lauf.
So he's not going to add any further points to his score. René Madsen of Denmark comes out to replace Brandt in blue. So the full line-up, Mikael Karlsson, Madsen, Holtgren and Adams. And it is Lee Adams who's made a superb start from the outside gate position. He's come across the other 3 riders comfortably enough, and he's moved through in the first place. Mikael Karlsson back in second, and Jürgen Holtgren in third. Madsen at the back. So Lee Adams, which certainly is looking very easy indeed for him out there. He's had 2 tapes to flag victories so far, and he's leading heat number 9 by a long way, and we've only had 1.5 laps. Mikael Karlsson back in second place. Adams, of course, he was very disappointed to go out of the World Senior Final at the Commonwealth stage at King's Lynn. Just couldn't get it together on the day and only scored 4 points. It really was a shock. It was a shock exit for him. But he's certainly making amends for it in this World Under-21 final. He's got his heart set on the title. And he's a long, long way out in front. And Mark Lorham's new track record must be under some danger as Adams comes across the line. Second place goes to Karlsson. Third spot for Jürgen Holtgren. And René Madsen, we couldn't score any points coming in as reserve. 70.5 was Lee's winning time. So 0.7 seconds outside Mark's new track record. But more importantly, it's 3 wins out of 3 for the Australian. On to heat number 10 then. The rider in yellow and black is Joe Screen. He's had 1 defeat so far in heat number 1. Hans Clausen comes out for Denmark off gate number 3. Niklaus Klingberg off gate 2. And Victor Gaydeen from the inside. Gaydeen, he's only scored 1 point from his opening 2 rides. Niklaus Klingberg, he scored 4. Hans Clausen, he scored 4 also. Joe Screen has scored 5. Heat number 10 gets underway, and it is the rider in white, Clausen, that leads the way. But here comes Joe Screen on the outside of Klingberg, and he's moved through into second place. And can the Joe Screen mean machine come through into the lead? Well, the rider in white, Clausen, has gone very wide, and Joe Screen has nipped through on the inside, so a mistake by Clausen has allowed Screen through. Klingberg back in third place, and Victor Gaydeen, well, he's at the back. Gaydeen, well, he rode for the old USSR in a series of matches against the National League sides as they were then back in 1990, and he really did impress, but he's having a torrid time of it. The this afternoon, Joe Screen, he's heading towards his second win of the afternoon. Dropped 1 point, remember, in his opening ride to Jorgen Holtgren. So with a lap to go, it is Screen still way out in front. And this will give his fans a lot to cheer about. He's going to come across the line unchallenged. He wins it. Second place goes to Clausen. Third place to Klingberg and Gadim at the back. So he's only scored 1 point from his 3 riders, Victor. And well, there is Team Screen waiting to applaud their hero in race number 10. Well done to him. 71.1 was Joe's winning time, and we're just having a practice start. Not really gating as quick as he might do. But still did enough to win race number 10. He scored 8 points after his first 3 outings. 1 point behind Lee Adams after his first 3 rides. Heat number 11, this is going to be a tough one. David Norris comes out in red, Mark Lorme in blue, Thomas Golab in white, and the rider in yellow and black is Yuri Starachek, replacing Robert Savina. Of course, has been taken to hospital. Hopefully, though, the injuries will not be serious. Mark Lorme, well, he really needs to win this one to stay in contention. Waiting for the lights to come on. And in fact, well, Mark Lorme, he's gone through the tapes. And is that going to be an exclusion for the King's Lynn rider? He's looking anxiously up at the referee. And well, it could be the end of his title hopes. Let's take another look and see if it was him. Well, in fact, watch the rider in yellow and black off the outside. Gate position. Yuri Starachek. There, he's touching the tapes, his clutch is dragging him into the start line. There he goes again, and it is in fact him that is going to be excluded from heat number 11. So Mark Lorme, well, he did go through the tapes, but he did not touch them first. So a lucky escape for the King's Lynn rider. Lee Madsen coming in to replace the reserve, Yuri Starachek, Thomas Golab, he comes out in white, Mark Lorme in blue and David Norris in red. Green lights on. Are they going to get a clean start this time? Well, yes, they do. Golub gets some lift, and it is David Norris that's leading the way. Here comes Thomas Golub, though, up the inside. Mark Lorme back in third place. But he's coming around the outside of Golub through in a second now. Rennie Madston, he's at the back. David Norris has gone a little bit wide. Here comes Mark Lorme up the inside, and he's moved through into the lead. So Lorme, he's gone from third to first place in the matter of half a lap. David Norris now back in second place, and Thomas Golab back in third. Golub, well, he would have been hoping to have done better here this afternoon. He really does catch the eye in the Polish League of top scores on numerous occasions for his team. Big gosh. But he's not doing so well here this afternoon. He's only scored 3 points from his first 2 rides. And Mark Lorme is leading the way. David Norris in second place. Thomas Golub back in third. And Mark Lorme, he wins it. Second place goes to Norris. Third place to Golub. He's not happy at all. Mark Lorme, good action in heat number 11. Let's take another look. Start. The best gate. Here comes Golub up the inside and relegates Mark Lorme to third place momentarily, but Lorme on the outside of the track coming down the back straight and then moves to the inner, passes David Norris on the inside. Another 3 points for Mark. He's on 8 points after his opening 3 races. And Mark's winning time 70 seconds exactly, of course, for the new track record holder. So another consistently quick time for him. Being congratulated by David Norris. And where there are all the different flags of the countries of the riders out here. This afternoon, the German flag, of course, Australian, Norway. It is a very cosmopolitan field indeed. Heat number 12 is about to get underway. The riders coming out in this one. Matthias Koch comes out for Germany. Thomas Barjeski for Poland, Robert Johansson for Sweden, and Lars Gunnestad for Norway. So 4 different countries represented in this one. Koch will easily get to score a point this afternoon. Lars Gunnestad, well, he had a win and then he had a very surprising last in his second outing. Thomas Barjeski, well, he scored 3 points. He had a last and then a first. And Robert Johansson, where he's had an exclusion and a 3rd place from his opening 2 rides. So the last race before the interval then, who's going to win it? Heat number 12 about to get underway, and it is the rider in blue, that is Barjeski, that's made a good start. Here comes Lars Gunnestad on the outside, and he's come all the way through into the lead, so great piece of riding there by the young Norwegian. He leads it from Barjeski in 2nd place, Johansson back in 3rd. Well, in fact, Matthias Koch is in 3rd place now, ahead of Johansson. Johansson trying to close in on Koch as they go down the back straight. Lars Gunnestad was some superb speedway action from him around the 1st and 2nd turn. He really did do some good work there. And Koch, well, he's gone very wide indeed, and it's allowed Barjeski, Johansson rather, to come through into 3rd place, but there's no stopping this man, Lars Gunnestad. He's away and leading very comfortably indeed.
Lars Gunnestad nach wie vor in front vor den Polen und sie gehen auch in die letzte.
He comes across the line with just a lap to go. Barjeski, well, he's trying to close in, but he's not going to get to him. Gunnestad, well, this will give him 6 points after his first 3 rides. He will be behind Lee Adams on 9, Joe Screen and Mark Norum. They scored 8 apiece after their first 3. He wins it, 72.4 was Lars winning time. 2nd place went to Barjeski, 3rd place for Johansson. Koch yet to score. And there is Lars back in the pit, just cooling his engine down with the new cooling fans that most of the riders seem to use these days. Joe Screen will maybe just contemplating that drop point in his opening race.
Joe, really battling out there.
It's hard, you know. I missed the start in the first one, and you know, I just couldn't do anything. I was, you know, near enough to try and pass the guy in front, but I just couldn't get there. And like, if you've noticed out there, he's like, whoever makes the starts, you know, is the winner. And
I know 2 or 3 people who disagree with you, Joe. You came by beautifully twice in 2 races, really going well. It is a little bit mucky out there after the downpour prior to the meeting.
yeah, there's a lot of big holes in there, and if you take your time, you know, the guys in front hitting the holes and just moving out, and you can just nip up the inside of them. You know, I've got a hard ride my next ride, and if I don't make the start, I'm going to settle, I think. So, I don't know. It's pretty hard.
Well, Joe, you're not the best of gators, nor is a couple of the English boys here, but I'm sure, as usual, you'll give 100%.
Yeah, I hope you can.
Kane at the under-21 final. I'm now joined by Lars Gunnestad. 2 good wins under his belt, 1 race you missed. What was that for, Lars?
Yeah, I missed the start, and I tried what I could, but I couldn't pass them. So it's really important to make the start on this track because it's dumpy and it's really difficult to pass on here.
Any effect from your injury? We all told you had a broken wrist in England. You certainly look like that's not affecting you today.
No, I don't feel anything about it, so that's all right.
Good, Lars. What about British League? When are you coming back?
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna come back from the start of next season for pool, and they buy me out from Sheffield. So maybe I'm coming over from the start of the next season.
So it's British League next year and not National League?
No, British.
Well, if you're at Pool next year, this is the man you're going to be talking to. This is rerun videos from Pool, so you'll be saying a lot and doing a lot of interviews down there.
Okay.
Do you want to say anything to the Pool fans?
Sorry?
Do you want to say anything to the Pool fans?
No, I haven't seen any of the fans yet, but I don't know what the crowd is like over there, but I wait to see them. And
Lars, they're going to love you. Well done, thank you very much. Now joined by David Norris in the pits at the under-21s. David, how's it going so far?
Not particularly well for me, but I've never really ridden a track like it before, so it's sort of a first really in a way. It's the first final, it's the first time on a track like it, but it's good to see the other 2 are like, you know, getting there, so no, we've still got a chance of getting a British World Champion still.
Let's hope so, David. In fact, both your races you've done work from the back, so the track's to your liking, or is it a little bit slippery out there?
No, it's just really sort of like rutting now. I mean, it's good that they got it going, you know, but I can't ride it on the line where the ruts are, where that's where I should be riding because that's where the passing's being done. But I'm getting there, you know. I mean, Eric's giving me some good advice and that, and sort of like if I get my head in the gear a bit more, you know. I mean, the fact that the possibility of winning's now out of my grasp, so it's sort of hard to keep motivating yourself. But you know, if I get it together my last two, I might be able to pull a few tricks out of the hat.
Well, to quote an old cliche, you could be the spoiler in the next race, I believe.
Could be, I think. Yeah, we could.
Now joined by Eric Bucock in the pits, who's overseeing the England team out here. Eric, the boys are going well.
Yeah, it's a shame it rained. It's a bit of a lottery early on. The track was very wet, and apart from the English boys, there's been no passing all afternoon, but it is extremely difficult to pass. The track's deep in places, a bit rough in places, then slick in places, and the starts are important, and neither Mark or Joe are really making good enough starts at this time, but obviously we're now at the interval stage, and the tyre packing the track out again, so probably it will be a lot better in the second half.
So we can look forward, hopefully the sun shines out now, but it was a terrible downpour. Any plans for the future after this?
Well, not really. I mean, this is a big meeting for these boys, and obviously next week's the big one, you know, for the senior lads, the other individual final, and obviously we get them out of the way. There's a World Team Cup to look forward to, but I mean, really today I'm just trying to get two of the riders, out of my three anyway, trying to get them on the rostrum. First and second would be ideal. Lee Adams looks as though he's going to spoil the party, but anyway, it's all to race for, and certainly Heat 12 will be the, or is it 14, will be the crunching race. We're all waiting for that, and we've just said what will be, will be. Let's hope we can, well, at least we can put one over Lee.
Very well organised, I thought, don't you, this meeting, the whole meeting, the night before, the presentation, everything's good?
Well, I'm not happy about it, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, a lot of the people, but, you know, from a man that's come from England that tries to do everything properly, which we do at the BSPA, even though we don't often get it, you know, all right. I mean, with no pit passes today, we couldn't get in. We got in yesterday, there were no pit passes. Like we had a parade today when the meeting got going. They've now had an interval because the sun's shining. In 20 minutes it could be pouring down, you know. We should get the meeting on and get it over with. I'm not so happy, but you've got to accept that we're in Germany. It's a carnival atmosphere and it's run completely different to England. Maybe we try too hard. Maybe we should just lay back a bit ourselves and say, well, it's all right for Germany, it's all right for us. And I think we'll be quite happy about that.
What do you think of the actual track surface? I mean, there's a big thing about shortage of shale in England. What do you think about the track surfaces here with this sort of a sand mixture?
Well, there's plenty on, and obviously it'll be local stuff. This is genuine continental type surface that they have on the track, but unfortunately it is like sand. And when you get a rut forming, the rut never moves. The step gets bigger and bigger, and obviously being an under 21, it's catching a lot of the kids out. I mean, they have got some marvellous equipment here, and they're trying their best to put it right, but as I say, I don't think with a track at home would have took the half an hour's rain we had tonight. This afternoon we wouldn't. I don't think any track could have possibly run, you know, but this shale, it drains well, it runs through it, and obviously it saved the meeting today, and that's really what we're all here for, you know. We want to race, we want to go home, and the best lad will win.
So basically, there's a lot for and a lot against this surface.
Well, yeah, there's a lot for it, but it's not a good racetrack, and I mean, it's like 399 metres. It's a bit too big to get good speedway, and I say if the English boys hadn't been in the meeting, we certainly wouldn't have seen anybody get past yet. I mean, Joe and Martin are on a pass in every race, but apart from them two, it's been a big, boring procession, really.
So you look to me like you're very proud of the English boys.
I'm very happy. I just hope, you know, there's a few races to go, another 8, and I just hope that certainly, you know, the Joe and Mark will be somewhere on the rostrum. Better be, and I don't mean holding it up, I mean stood on it.
Eric Bucock, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, there's the man they've got to beat. Young Lee Adams, unbeaten after his first 3 rides. Our thanks to Paul Lauren, father of Mark, for conducting the interviews for him and there for us. And there is Mark. Well, he's dropped a point to Lee Adams. He's got a couple of races before he comes out. Heat number 13, Lars Gunnestad in red, Victor Gaydim in blue, Robert Savina, he's been replaced by Yuri Staracek in white, and Jorgen Holtgren, he comes out in yellow and black. Holtgren, well, he scored 5 points from his first 3 outings. Victor Gaydim, he's only scored 1. It's been a struggle for him. Lars Gunnestad, he scored 6 in the reserve. Yuri Staracek, well, he has not scored any points from his rides this afternoon. So Gunnestad, well, he must be the favourite really in heat number 13. Start marshal just trying to pull the riders up into line. It looks like we're ready. Heat number 13 gets underway, the first race after the interval, and it is Lars Gunnestad that's made a good start. Victor Gaydim in second place. Jürgen Holtgren back in third, although he's coming hard under pressure from Yuri Starachech, but it is Holtgren that's just regained third place. A good race this for the odd point. Lars Gunnestad out in the front though, Gadim in second place, and Holtgren back in third. Holtgren, of course, one of 3 Swedish riders who ride for Skapana in this World Under-21 final, so that's a good representation from the club. Robert Johansson and Mikael Paulsen, of course, are the other 2. But Holtgren, well, he's trying to close in on Victor Gadim. He cannot get close enough to mount a challenge. Lars Gunnestad, well, he's heading towards his 3rd race win. Very disappointed after that last in heat number 7. Should have really done better than that, but he's certainly making up for it now. This is going to be his 2nd win on the trot. Just got the 3rd and 4th bend to come round. And it's Gunnestad that wins it. 2nd place goes to Victor Gadim. 3rd place for Jürgen Holtgren. And Yuri Starachech, he's at the back. So Lars Gunnestad is winning time 70.7. And that puts him on 9 points after his first 4 rides. So he's still got a chance of a place on the rostrum. Heat number 14, well, this is a big race indeed. The rider in yellow and black is Lee Adams. He comes out off gate number 4. He's scored 9 points so far. Of course, David Norris, he's off gate number 3. David, well, he's scored 5 points from his first 3 rides. Joe Screen, he comes off gate number 1 in white. He's scored 8 points from his first 3, and Matthias Koch, he comes out in blue. He's yet to score a point. So I think we can discount him from heat number 14, but this is a good big race. Lee Adams, he's been drawn on the outside. Joe Screen from the inner, so that must be an advantage to the Bellevue ace. Lee, of course, representing Swindon in this World Under-21 final. They've also got Mitch Shearer and Jimmy Nielsen through to the Senior World Final next week, so well represented Swindon. Heat number 14 about to get underway. Can David Norris be the spoiler in the pack? And he's made a good start. He's leading the way, but Joe Screen's also made a good one off the inside. And he's forcing Norris out wide. Lee Adams back in 3rd place. Here he comes through in a second. He passes David Norris down the back straight. Of course, very fast engines of Keith, of course, as Lee Adams got it. But Joe Screen, well, he's got a march on Adams and he's out in front. Now, can Adams possibly close in on Screen? And this will throw this title wide open yet again. Joe Screen, he's dropped 1 point so far, so has Mark Lorham. And Lee Adams, well, if he cannot find a way past Screen, he also has, and it doesn't look like he's closing in at all on Screen. He's pulling a tear off there. Perhaps he's just going to try and hold on to 2nd place ahead of David Norris. Matthias Koch back in 4th place and out of it. But it is Joe Screen. Well, he's made a good start. David Norris did also. But he's comfortably leading the way. Lee Adams, he's putting Joe under no pressure whatsoever. And if that Screen can just keep going, he looks over his shoulder both ways. See, there's no problems at all for him. And he's going to come round and win heat number 14 to throw this competition wide open again. He wins it. 2nd place goes to Adams. He's delighted. 3rd place goes to David Norris. Matthias Koch at the back. Let's take another look at some of that fine action on the first lap. We can see as the tape rise. David Norris has made a good start in the out gates. Lee Adams, Joe Screen's made a good one also off the inside. Pushes Norris a little bit wide, and that's allowed Lee Adams through in the 2nd place. For Adams, well, he could not find a way past Screen. He never really got in touch with him. So Adams has dropped a point. There's 3 riders on 11 points apiece. They've got 1 race left each. And Joe's winning time was 69.7, a new track record, so he really was flying in that one. No wonder Lee Adams couldn't get anywhere near to him. Taking a 1/10 of a second off of Mark Lorham's old track record, which only lasted 9 races. There is Team Screen. They made that long journey down from Manchester in England. Oh, well, they've spotted the camera now. And a boisterous lot indeed. So on to heat number 15 now, with things certainly hotting up. Kim Brandt, he comes out for Denmark off the inside gate position. Thomas Golab comes out for Poland off gate number 2 in blue. Robert Johansson for Sweden in white, and Niklas Klingberg also for Sweden in yellow and black. Klingberg, he scored 5 points from his opening 3. Johansson, he scored 2. Golub, he scored 4. And Kim Brandt, he scored 2 points. Those all coming in his first ride. So none of these riders will be featuring at the top of the leaderboard come the end of this meeting, but they'll all be going out for victory in heat number 15. And who's made the best start? Where's Golub that leads the way? Here comes the rider in yellow and black, Klingberg, trying to come through in the second place, and indeed he has done. Kim Brandt back in third, and Johansson, he's at the back. So it's the Pole leading from the Swede in second place, the Dane in third, and another Swede in last position at the moment. Although here comes Robert Johansson on the inside of Kim Brandt, and he's moved through in the third place. Thomas Golub out in front and comfortably leading it. He really is one of the Pole's top prospects for the coming seasons. He had a bit of trouble with the authorities out there over the last couple of seasons, but there's no denying that he is a superb motorcyclist. Out on the track, looking over his shoulder, and sees that Klingberg is certainly closing in on him with a lap to go. Can Golub hold on for his first race victory of the afternoon? This will bolster his points to 7 after 4 races. Should he win it, he's going to come across the line just ahead of Klingberg, who puts in a good challenge. Third place goes to Johansson, with Brandt at the back. 71.4 was Golub's winning time, his first win of the afternoon. And whether we're going to see a wheelie? No, we're not. I think he's exhausted after the exploits of race number 15, his first win.
Ergebnis Rennen 15, erster Platz.
So on to heat number 16, and Mark Loren, well, he needs a win here to join Joe Screen and Lee Adams on 11 points. Mikhail Carlsen is the rider in blue, Thomas Barjeski in white for Poland, and Hans Clausen for Denmark in yellow and black. Clausen, well, he's scored 6 points from his first 3 rides, so he's not got a bad total. Barjeski, he scored 5. Carlsen, he's on 4, and Mark Loren, well, he scored 8 points. So he needs a win to join Joe Screen and Lee Adams out in front, with just 1 race to go. What sort of starters Loren got? Well, he's made a good one and he's leading the way. And the rider in yellow and black, Hans Clausen, well, he's gone down. His bike has come down onto the track as well. The race is going to have to be stopped. Let's take another look at the first bend. Well, you can see as the tapes rise, the rider in yellow and black tries to come across the rider in blue. That's Mikhail Carlsen, but he was never there ahead of Carlsen. He's gone down, and will the referee exclude him? Well, the answer to that is no, he will not. First bend bunching was his decision, so Clausen getting another chance and not taking the journey back in the ambulance either. Ipswich Speedway supporter, and well, there are our driver and navigator that got us to the meeting, Trudy and Nigel. Just having a few words with a friendly German there. The rerun of heat number 16 then. The line up once more, Loren, Carlsen, Barjeski and Clausen. Can Loren make another good start? Desperately needs a win in heat number 16. Heat number 18, well, that could be vital. Mark Loren, he's out against Joe Screen and Lars Gunnestad. Should he win this race, that is going to be one of the crunch rides for the young English men. So the rerun then of heat number 16, can the old track record holder maybe get it back, or will he just be content to win the race as they come out into the first bend? And it is the rider in blue, Mikhail Carlsen, that leads the way, but Loren, well, he's rode a very good inside line and he's taken the lead. Hans Clausen's moved through into third place and he's trying to come round the outside of Carlsen and move into second. Can he do so? No, he cannot. Thomas Barjeski, well, he's getting a great view of the action from behind. And Barjeski, well, he's come through in the third place, but here comes Clausen back on the outside. So good racing in heat number 16, plenty of action going on. Mark Loren, well, he's seen none of it because he's out in front and leading the way. 2 laps gone, 2 to go. Can he join Joe Screen and Lee Adams on 11 points with just 1 race left? So the top guns really are coming out at the top of the field. as the riders complete their fourth rides after this one. Mark Lorham, of course, very much involved with grass track, British Masters champion and long track. A superb all-round motorcyclist. First started riding Speedway for Hackney, of course, back in 1987, then went to Ipswich, and now he's with Kings Lynn. He's done very well indeed in heat number 16. He's won it, 72.5 his winning time. He joins Lee and Joe on 11 points, and heats 18 and 20 are going to be crucial for the destiny of this World Under 21 Championship. There is Lauren back in the pits, taking off his helmet cover. He's got a one race gap before his final ride of the afternoon, just taking it easy. Looks as cool as a cucumber, doesn't he? I'm sure he's got a few butterflies over that £10,000 bonus. I'm sure it's in his mind at the moment. Joe Screenwell, he's taking it very easy indeed. Him and Mark are great friends, of course. They clash in heat number 18. Ivan Major, mentor, of course, of Lee Adams. Adams coming out in heat number 20. He's got a fairly easy looking race on paper. David Norris, he comes out before all of them in heat number 17. And well, it shows just how the weather conditions have altered. Riders, the crowd now, some of them dispense with their shirts, getting a bit of a tan. And the track just being graded before the last four races. And there's Mike Patrick of the Speedway Star just getting himself organised. So the last ride then for these four, Jürgen Holgren comes out in red, David Norris in blue, Hans Clausen in white, and Robert Johansson in yellow and black. David Norris, he's on 6 points from his first three rides. Holgren, he's also scored 6 points. Hans Clausen, he's scored 7, and Robert Johansson, he's on 3 points. So perhaps David Norris can finish with a race victory. He hasn't won a heat here this afternoon. See what sort of start he makes. He's made a good one this time, and he's leading the way as they go into the first turn. So can Norris win heat number 17, and it's very close indeed for second, third and fourth place. They go down the back straight. It is Hans Clausen that's moved through in the second row. He's gone very wide indeed, and Holgren has come through. Robert Johansson, he's at the back, so Holgren, well, he came through on the inside when Hans Clausen took an extra wide line coming out of the third and fourth bend. David Norris, meanwhile, comfortably leading the way. The young Ipswich and England international started off riding for Eastbourne Eagles back in 1988, then joined Ipswich in 1990. His third season with them. He's improving year by year. Now gets regular calls up for the Eagles squad, and he's going to come round and win his first race of the afternoon. He crosses the line. Well done to David. Second place, that goes to Holgren. Third place for Clausen. Robert Johansson at the back. 71.3 was David's winning time, and that's moved him up the leaderboard. He finishes with 9 points, and he's giving the fans a wave there. Well done to him. Heat number 18, and this really is one of the big ones. Mark Lorham comes out in red, Joe Screen in blue, Lars Gunnestad in white, and Kim Brandt in yellow and black. Well, you can forget about Brandt. He won't be featuring in this race, I wouldn't imagine. Gunnestad, he's had three race wins. So has Mark Lorham, so has Joe Screen. The difference being Gunnestad has also had a last, but Joe and Mark have had 2 second places as well. And well, one of those two should win this race. They could possibly be in a run-off with with Lee Adams, should he win heat 20. A lot going for heat number 18. They get underway, and it's Lars Gunnestad that's leading the way. Mark Lorham's in second place. Joe Screen, he finds himself at the back behind Kim Brandt, so it's not really going to script at the moment. Gunnestad leading the way. Joe Screen's only back in third place. Mark Lorham in second, and the two English riders, well, one of them must find a way past if they're going to challenge Lee Adams, should he win heat number 20. And here comes Mark Ryan trying to put Gunnerstead under some pressure as they come towards the end of lap number 2. Gunnerstead out in front, Mark Ryan trying to close in, Joe Screen not far behind Lorem also. So Gunnerstead, can he hold on? Here comes Mark Lorem up the inside, he's trying to move through. There's a bit of argy-bargy going down the back straight as they go through into the 3rd turn. And here's Mark Lorem that's come through into the lead. Lars Gunnerstead has been forced wide. And he's fighting back again now on the inside. A lap to go. Can Lorem hold on? This will give him 14 points. Lars Gunnerstead, well, he's gone wide on that 1st and 2nd turn, and Joe Screen's come through in the 2nd place. A great race, this one in heat number 18. But it's going to be Mark Lorem that wins it. Surely Joe Screen cannot close in. Mark Lorem looks over his shoulder, sees there's no problems. He's got scores 14 points. Joe Screen finishes on 13, Lars Gunnerstead on 10. A great race in heat number 18. Let's take a look at some of that action. Well, as we pick up the action, the riders have just finished lap number 2. And Lorem, well, he knows he must find a way past. Joe Screen's battling as hard as he can, but watch for Lorem here as he comes hard underneath. Lars Gunnerstead, a hard but fair challenge. And Gunnerstead, well, he's back in 2nd place, but he regains his composure. He's trying to put a challenge on Lorem again, but he makes a bit of a mess of the 1st and 2nd bend, and Joe Screen's able to come through in the 2nd place, but Lorem it is that secures the win. He's got 14 points. Can Lee Adams win heat number 20 to equal it? And there are the two great friends having a chat about that race. 71.3 was Mark's winning time, and well, that bonus from CPL, it's tantalisingly close to him. Plus, of course, more importantly, maybe the World Under-21 final title. Well, that is a lot of money for any rider to win. Heat number 19 will before that is Eric Bucock, Maurice Stucker also out here, representative of the BSPA. And they'll be watching heat number 19, getting ready. On the line there is Thomas Golub. He comes out in red, Victor Gaydem in blue, Matthias Koch in white, and Mikael Carlsen in yellow and black. Golub, he scored a win in his last ride. He's got 7 points, so a win here will give him 10, and that will equal Lars Gunnerstead. See what sort of start he can make. Victor Gaydem, it's been a struggle for him. He's only scored 3 points so far. Matthias Koch, well, he really has struggled. And Mikael Carlsen, well, he's also scored 6 points from his 4 rides. Heat number 19 about to take place. The green light's on, the tapes rise, and here's Golub that leads the way comfortably out in front. Victor Gaydem, well, he's been passed by. Matthias Koch in white has moved through into 2nd place, so a bit of surprise this one. Koch giving the German fans something to cheer about. Thomas Golub out in front, but Koch's made a bit of a mess up of that, and Mikael Carlsen has come through in the 2nd place, or does he? A good fight this one. Victor Gaydem, he's at the back, although he's just finding a way past Koch as well. So, note the cheers have turned to cheers maybe from the German crowd. Here comes Victor Gaydem on the outside. He's past Koch, who really has struggled in this company here this afternoon. The seeded rider, of course, just as Slavomir Drabik has been seeded through to the World Final in Poland. The Germans also getting one seeded for the Under-21 final. But it's been very hard for Matthias this afternoon. Thomas Golub, well, he's going to finish with a race win, so it's 2 on the trot for him, but he's come alight a little bit too late. He wheels across the line. 2nd place goes to Carlsen, who made up a lot of ground during that race. 3rd place to Victor Gaydem. 72.7 was Thomas's winning time. And, well, we see a wheelie at the end for him. Congratulations to him. He finishes on 10 points, the same as Lars Gunnerstead.
Ergebnisrennen 19, erster Platz, die Startnummer 3, Thomas Golub aus Polen, 3 Punkte für ihn, Lee Adams aus
So heat number 20 then, and a vital one for Lee Adams. We've got Niklas Klingberg coming off the inside gate, number 1. René Madsen, he comes off gate number 2. Off gate number 3, there is Lee Adams. He needs a win here to force a run-off with Mark Lorem. Off the outside, it's Thomas Barczewski. So, well, it seems quite an easy race on paper for Adams. You just do not know, Barjeski, he scored 5 points from his first 3 rides, 4 rides, see what he can do. Well, Lee Adams has made a superb start off gate number 3, and he's leading the way. Nicholas Klingberg's come through into 2nd place. Rennie Madston in 3rd. Here comes Thomas Barjeski trying to come round on the outside, but Lee Adams he's miles out in front at the end of the first lap. And he really is going for victory, and that will force a run-off with Mark Loram. So the Australian leading the way. Thomas Barjeski will come in very tight on that first turn, trying to find a way past Rennie Madston, but he cannot do so. Klingberg back in 2nd place. But Lee Adams is out in front. 2 laps gone, 2 to go. And he's on his off-the-vice tuned engines. They really are extremely quick. And he's leading the way. GM's, of course, he's riding this season, and they are so quick, especially out of the start and down the straights. And Adams looks like he's only got to come round at the 3rd and 4th bend to get in the run-off with Mark Loram. So we're going to have one more race here this afternoon for the fans. He comes across the line, and that's 14 points for Adams. 2nd place goes to Klingberg. 3rd place for Rennie Madston, so he scores a point. Thomas Barjeski at the back. In fact, well, Barjeski just passed Rennie Madston at the death for that odd point. 75.8 was Lee's slow winning time, but he's won it easily enough as he goes back to the pits before the run-off. Let's take a look at this afternoon's point scorers. And we start with Jürgen Holtgren, where he scored 8 points, including a race 1 victory over Joe Screen. And Joe, well, he really was ruining that drop point. Mark Loram, where he scored 14 points, and he's in the run-off coming up. Thomas Golob, where he scored 10 points, he really got going after his first 3 rides. Matthias Koch, well, he failed to score from his 5 rides, it really was hard for him. Tomasz Barjeski, he scored 6 points from his 5 outings. Joe Screen, well, 13 points for him. Joe just dropping 1 point to Mark Loram and also to Jürgen Holtgren. Otherwise he would have been in that run-off. Nicholas Klingberg, he scored 9 points from his outings. Robert Johansson, he scored 3, so it was a bit of a struggle for him. Mikael Carlson, he scored 8 points. Robert Savina, he scored 1 point, and then he had that nasty crash in his 2nd ride with Joe Screen, and that was the end of the meeting for him. Lars Gunnestad, well, he finished equal 4th with Thomas Golab on 10 points. Hans Clausen, he scored 8 points. David Norris finished equal 6th, finishing with a race win and 9 points for him. So a good debut, World Under 21 final for David. Lee Adams, well, he is in that run-off coming up shortly. 14 points also. Victor Gaydeen, well, he was a bit of a disappointment. He only scored 4 points from his rides. He did have a taped exclusion as well in one of those. And Kim Brandt, with the other rider from Denmark, he just scored 2 points from his 5 outings. Well, there is Lee Adams taking off his crash helmet, just getting ready for the run-off. And in the opposite camp, there is Mark Loram and Joe Screen. So it's just down to this one race for Mark and £10,000 in the World Under 21 final title. I wonder if he's having a bit of a drink before he goes out. I'm sure he'll be having a few more after as well, should he win it. And the crowd, they've enjoyed some good speedway here. Track conditions not easy for the riders. They really have put on a show as best they could. And well, there is Mark Loram. He's just been down to have a look at the starting gate positions. The toss-up for the positions about to take place. I wonder what must be going through his mind. I wonder if he's thinking about the money at all. I think it's best if he tries to put it at the back of his mind. And now we haven't got the toss of the coin.
Helmet color. We divide the track in 2 halves. The red as red and blue, and the white as white and yellow.
They do a little bit different out here.
Rider, half track for the other rider.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Let's just toss a coin.
This is the draw for the helmet colours.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, it's maybe a bit too simple for them, tossing a coin.
Is red inside here?
Red inside, half track.
Who is red? So, oh, make sure it's not skullduggery going in. Mark has chosen the... Well, Mark's chosen red, so he's got the inside gate position, so that's an advantage indeed for Lorem. There's Peter Collins giving Mark some advice with Eric Bucock and Joe Screen. It's all down to this young man now. Lee Adams, he's coming out already in white. And with the black clouds are gathering again, so we've really got to get this final race over with as soon as possible. Mark Lorem, he comes off gate number 2, Lee Adams off gate number 3, the final race of the World Under-21 Championship for 1992. Of course, Mark's great friend Chris Louis won it a couple of years ago in Lvov in Russia, and Mark do the same thing out here in Pfaffenhofen, Germany. 60 seconds or so, and we shall know Lee Adams where he's moving away from the start line. So Mark also going away a little bit of gamesmanship maybe. The crowd were trying to get the riders to hurry up because they know the weather conditions better than what these riders do, and it really is getting very dark indeed here this late afternoon now. But it's all down to this one race. Mark Lorem v Lee Adams for the World Under-21 title. And the start, well, it could be all important. The start marshal walks away, the green light's on, away they go, and Lee Adams has made a good start from the outside, and he's leading the way. Mark Lorem back in second place, so it's Adams that's got the drop on Lorem, and he's leading the way down the back straight, and he's opened up quite a lead as they go into the third turn. Can Lorem possibly fight back? He's got a lot to go for, of course, but at the end of the first lap it is Lee Adams that leads from Mark Lorem. Lorem certainly is closing in on the bends. Here he comes around the outside maybe of Adams, but Adams is drawing away again down the back straight. So Adams, well, is he going to spoil the party for Mark Lorem? Lee, well, he really has been gating extremely well here this afternoon. And Lorem, well, he's dropping back as they come into the third lap. Adams is leading the way, but Lorem again, when he's trying to close in, he's got just over a lap in which to do so. The yellow flag is out. Lee Adams, oh, is he going to be crowned the World Under-21 champion, or can Lorem pull out something big on the third and fourth bend? Well, they're going down the back straight, and Lorem is definitely closing. One last gasp attempt for Mark, but it looks like Lee's going to just hold on as they come across the line. It's Adams that's crowned Under-21 champion. Mark Lorem in second place. He closed in a lot, but he just could not get there in the end. A great race in the runoff. Lee Adams of Australia, World Under-21 champion. Mark Lorem of England, runner-up. Commiserations to him, but our congratulations must go to Lee Adams, and he's highly delighted with that. Well done to him. And he's going to come round for a lap of honour, and he's highly delighted. The Australian champion, of course, the Australian Under-21 champion, Victoria champion, and Australian pairs champion with Jason Lyons, and he's now the World Under-21 champion. So what a season it's been for young Lee. And he's getting the applause from the crowd as he goes down the back straight, and shortly where the presentation will be taking place. And there'll be a mad rush to get to the presentation stage. And the weather, well, it's just starting to rain now, so they just about made that final race in time. Lee coming onto the centre green. And getting a good round of applause from the fans. Mark Lorem congratulating him also. And sportsmanship right at the end. Mark, well, he must be feeling gutted, but Lee Adams, what a feeling that must be for him. Brian Anderson, of course, the Under-21 champion last year, Chris Louis before him, but Lee Adams, well, he's got his name on that illustrious list now. And it's absolutely teeming down with rain. All the camera crews are there. Joe Screen, well, he's also made it out onto the centre green. So the presentation about to take place very quickly.
First, and Juniors Individual Speedway World Champion 1992.
And Lee, well, he's just getting ready to go up onto the rostrum. And where it looks like he's lost something. Come on, Lee, where are you? Oh, well, no wonder the obligatory sponsor's cap must go on his head for the presentation photographs. And Lee, well, he certainly is happy. It really is tipping down again with rain. We've been very lucky to get this meeting finished. So Adams, we've just dropped 1 point in the main meeting. Of course, that was to Joe Screen. Mark Loram, he dropped his 1 point to Lee Adams and was beaten again by Lee in the runoff. And here is Mark. Hopefully we'll see him in a minute, coming from behind the umbrellas, and there he is. And where he's trying to put on a brave face, but it must be very difficult indeed for all. He's dropped the top of his trophy as well. Steady on Mark. Joe Screen, where he's the rider that finishes third on 13 points, beaten by Jürgen Holtgren and Mark Loram. And what a point that was for Joe to drop. But he's going to get third place, and he can compete again next year. Still young enough, so he'll be able to give it another go. And he's getting a good round of applause from the fans. Lee Adams, the winner of the World Under-21 title. Just after the meeting, we had a few words with him.
Well, what a bloke to be doing the interview with Lee Adams, the 1992 World Junior Champion. Lee, well, I'm just going to let you talk.
Well, thank you very much. It's great feeling. It was quite tough. The meeting was very tough. I knew it was going to end up like this because there was about 4 of us all on the same level, and I was pretty sure it was going to come down a runoff, but I was hoping it wasn't. But I'm just very happy to win it.
I bet you weren't open as much as I was. You were going very good. Well done, Lee.
Thank you very much.
What's it feel like?
It feels great. It feels good, really good.
The main thing, you're all right, and you've got the 3 top riders in the meeting on the roster.
Exactly right. It's very good. I'm very happy.
Well done. Straight away, you're going to phone Otto.
Well, I've got to try and find him. I don't know where he is. He's on holiday.
I'm sure you'll find him.
Yeah, thank you.
Lee Adams, the 1992 World Under-21 Junior Champion. Lee, congratulations.
Thank you.
So again, our congratulations to Lee, and we must again thank Paul Loram for carrying out that interview. He really was under, maybe a little bit biased towards Mark in the runoff, just slightly. But it really is tipping down now. Mike Patrick, well, he's getting covered in it. The riders, well, they'll shortly be away for their next meeting. And we must start making our journey back to England. Hopefully it won't be quite so eventful as the one over here. Until next time, it's goodbye from Pfaffenhofen and goodbye from Rerun Videos.